Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good day and above all else that you're indeed looking after yourselves and one another. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have another album spotlight segment for you. Originally, this was going to be a new album review, but at the time of recording, I have not yet received my copy from Amazon.ca of this album. So I have canceled my order and I have reordered it through Discogs. And the individual who sold me the CD emailed me yesterday and informed me that he has indeed sent out the CD 2 days ago. Now, I want to thank Walt for that. Now, the band in question is IQ, and the album in the spotlight is their latest release, Dominion. Dominion is IQ's 13th release. It was released on March 28th, 2025, through the longtime label Giant Electric P Music. Now, Giant Electric P has other bands of the neo-progressive rock realm on their label, such as Rain, featuring Andy Edwards. Now, a little note, Andy Edwards was a one-time member of IQ, appearing on their album Frequency. Now, Dominion is the band's follow-up release to their 2019 double CD, Resistance. Dominion was produced by founding member guitarist, keyboardist, and backup vocalist Michael Holmes. Playing on the album, as I scroll down on my notes here, we have Tim Esau on bass guitar and backing vocals, Paul Cook, fantastic drummer on drums and percussion, Michael Holmes, as I said, on guitars, keyboards, and backing vocals, Neil Durant on keyboards, and Peter Nichols, fantastic vocalist, on lead vocals and backing vocals. Now, in terms of IQ had been around since on and off since 1981. And as I said, this is their 13th release. Now, they have gone through various lineup changes, but this lineup for this album, for Dominion, is believed to be their longest running lineup of the band and considered to be their classic lineup of the band. Now, I really didn't know that the IQ were releasing a new album until I saw footage of Michael Holmes in the studio doing some guitar overdubs. And they announced that they were indeed working on a new album, which I was excited about. Now, in terms of their studio output, as I said again, this is their 13th release, and IQ does tend to go between long periods of time between releasing studio albums. I do believe that prior to the release of their 2019 album, Resistance, their last studio album prior to that was The Road of Bones from 2014, a fantastic concept album. Road of Bones, by the way, is available both single and double disc formats. Now, I've listened to this album via YouTube. You can stream it on YouTube. Um, a couple of times, and I gotta tell you, this is a fantastic release. 5 tracks in total. And although the music on the album is intricate, textured, in-depth, um, it is still accessible. Okay. And when I listen to this album, I'm immediately, sorry, taken away on a journey. And I kind of misunderstood what the album for me was about. Because as you see on the cover, as I put on the graphic, you see an individual standing there opening his jacket, and you see that you can see through his chest to the sea and the sunset or the sunrise, basically to the realm of the world beyond him, like what's basically the world that of what's ahead of you, okay, or whatever is ahead of it, of any individual. And upon listening to this album, to me, I got the feeling that this was not that it's a thematic piece, but the songs are sort of interconnected. In this is about a spirit who has come back in the form of a man, and has revisited all the places and experiences that he has had during his lifetime and has either tried to make amends to people or to correct certain situations. Okay, which is pretty deep. Again, there are only 5 tracks on the album, and it starts off with the magnum opus 22 minute and 33 second opening track, The Unknown Door. Now, The Unknown Door is split up into 4 sections. It starts off with the piece Faint Equations, and it starts off with a trumpet synth type passage. And you also hear sort of little rumblings of a transistor radio signal coming through, and beautiful atmospheric synths, very ethereal. Ethereal is the one word I can use to describe this album, and it's beautiful, beautiful. It is amazing. You have a beautiful piano passage on this piece, a very tranquil acoustic guitar passage that comes in, but then you also have use of organ, and there's a lot of use of organ on this album. Beautiful thick guitar tone from Michael Holmes on this track, as the rest of the tracks. And to me, when I hear this album, I've often said that Michael Holmes, in terms of his guitar playing, reminds me a lot of Steve Hackett from Genesis. And there are a lot of, I guess you'd say, Genesis type tropes on this album, but beautifully done. And in terms of the lyrical content for this piece, as you know, you know, for the rest of the album, it has a lyrical theme of endless possibilities, going back and hoping to try and correct what you've done, either to others or to situations that you could, you know, that you could have maybe handled differently. After Faint Equations, you have the piece Many and Many Still with heavy rhythm guitar. This is how I know that the track was sort of separating into the second section. Heavy rhythm guitar, heavy use of organ on this piece. Great guitar solo from Michael Holmes on this, and great dramatic interplay between the guitar and the organ. It's almost like they're battling it out, right? And and you don't know who's going to win. Also, beautiful, intricate time signature changes and a real dramatic finish on this piece. And then it segues into uh, part three, an orbital plane, where beautiful acoustic guitar starts this piece, very atmospheric synths, and you do have this sense, sorry, that you're kind of floating. Again, very ethereal, throughout the album. It has a very ethereal tone. Uh, Dramatic full organ passage that comes in, and great guitar solo again from Michael Holmes on this. But what I like about the solos, either organ or guitar on this album, they're not prolonged. They're not overly done. Do you know what I mean, they come in, they do what they have to do. They create a musical sense or motif, and then they're done, and then they're off to another passage, which is great. And also, you know, a lot of people say that they get bored with prolonged guitar solos. That's not the case with this album at all. Um, and the piece ends with part four, called Dream Stronger. And in that piece, it's basically a repeat of the vocal melody from Faint Equations, and beautiful atmospheric synths and use of full organ and a great strong guitar solo on this piece as well. You know, the second track on side one of Dominion is a beautiful acoustic piece called One of Us, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. And with the ethereal and heaviness of The Unknown Door at 22 minutes and 33 seconds, this is a beautiful way to end off side one. And in my notes, I have here great intricate guitar passages, great melody, and very atmospheric synths. And It's basically the character in the story, if you can call it that, is basically revisiting an old love that he had and apologizing that he or that they, sorry, couldn't do better with the time they had together. And he is very sorry for ever hurting them. Again, it's a wonderful way to end off side one. And, what compared to the, heaviness of the opening track, The Unknown Door, it is beautifully done. Side two starts off with the track No Dominion at 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Great Mellotron effect on this track, as I'm hearing Mellotron. Beautiful lush synths, great piano on this piece, and a beautiful guitar solo. Again, Michael Holmes' guitar playing, his tone on this album, it's crisp, it's clean, it cuts right through, and it's definite. You know that he's making a statement with what he's doing on the guitar. Beautifully done. And the next track is the 12-minute and 44-second Far From Here. Beautiful melodic music box intro that happens. That's repetitive. Underlying synths on the opening section. At the 2-minute and 28-second mark, the drums come in and the track builds, slowly builds and builds and builds in intensity. And the guitars also come in. Very dramatic build in tempo and in terms of the piece itself. And then it segues into the track, final track on the album, Neverland. 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Now, in my notes, I have here textured synth passages, pulsating synths that do come in to sort of move the track along. Very melodic. At 3 minutes and 58 seconds, the band do come in full with heavy guitars and drum, cymbal crashes, etc., and drumming. Great thick guitar tone on this piece, just amazing, amazing, and very prominent bass on this piece. I was going to say very lyrical basic, very melodic bass line that comes in. Beautifully done. And it also features a beautiful repetitive piano passage. And basically, Neverland ends off the album, and the character or the spirit of the character is saying, whatever you think that you know, there is more always to learn. And there is always possibilities that are out there. Whatever I've done to you, whatever anyone else has done to you, you can always learn and you can always move on from what you've had, whether good or bad. You know, it's a fantastic album. So please check out Dominion from IQ. You can stream it on YouTube. You can get the album on Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk, Discogs on eBay. You can again stream it on YouTube. And please, once you've listened to it, let me know what you think of Dominion. I think it's a fantastic album. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. Again, it is heavy, but at the same time, it's also accessible. Okay. And in terms of progressive rock bands, I do think IQ doesn't get enough mention from the mainstream media in terms of neo-progressive rock or progressive rock, overall. So again, please, once you've listened to the album, please put your comments down below what you think of Dominion. I personally think it's a fantastic album. And hopefully you'll agree once you've listened to it. Please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content I've got coming up. I've got more shows coming up with Bill Schuster, Ken Cheshire, and Jim Bricker, and we'll get those shows to you as quickly as we possibly can. Please look after yourselves and one another, and I will see you soon with more videos. Bye for now.